Scott, let me ask you this. What is a number one struggle that you're kind of facing with right now? And I mean, just all transparency, what are you struggling with right
Yeah.
now?
So when this transition in the market happened 3-4 months ago, our cash buyers just stopped buying. Even when we were locking up like smoker deals that we would have had a bidding war a few months earlier,
Yep.
we had to really scratch and claw to eke out small assignments. So we were renegotiating with sellers, we're following up with all the buyers and trying to just squeeze offers out of them and just create a little bit of spread there to get a deal done. And I realized that that's not going to be maybe enough to survive, but it's not going to be enough to really survive in the long haul and definitely not to thrive. So what we're trying to do right now to bring in more business is to look at deals from multiple angles and not throw leads away. What I mean by that is if we can do the traditional wholesale, we will. Or if we do lock up a smoker, people are still buying on the market, especially in my market, they're buying starter homes. So those will still sell.
Okay.
And if I think that I could close on something and put it on the market, I'll do that. So that's what we're doing with a couple deals right now. So instead of assigning for a smaller assignment fee, we're closing on them, and then we should be making, maybe 60,000, 80,000 just by doing the wholesale with a little bit of light renovations.
Yeah.
Visual appeal, staging them, replacing the carpets, all things you could do for less than $10,000. So there's that. And also we're looking at, we're trying to figure out novations, which you told me before we started recording that you guys are now doing a lot of business with. So we have 3 deals that we've signed where the sellers are okay with us marketing on the MLS. So we wrote that into our contracts. But what's interesting is in the state of Oregon, nobody's done one yet.
Really?
So the attorneys, the title companies, no one's really quite sure how to execute it and get us paid on them. So that's what we're trying to
Gotcha.
but we will figure it out, and maybe I'll call you after this call, but we'll figure that out, and that'll be an additional deal flow because the 3 deals that we've inked, they wanted more than where we needed to be for wholesale price, but they're willing to allow us to do this. We know that we can make good spread by putting it on the market and finding a retail buyer. And I also find we've tried this a bit in the past. Everyone's always said no, but sellers are coming around more right now to letting us do that.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah.
And if you just lay it on the table, have them, pick that option by just explaining it, like, hey, does that sound something like you would want to do?
And then the last thing, just one more thing I wanted to add there about what we're doing to survive this time is creative finance deals that we could then assign. So I'll give you an example. We went out to a house yesterday that's almost new construction. It's 3 years old, beautiful house, big home in kind of a tertiary market of Portland. And they want 525 for it. It's a divorce situation. They need 525. The house is worth as is $600,000 on the market. But for us to wholesale that, we'd still need to be in the 4s, low 4s, maybe middle 4s maximum. For us to take that down with hard money and then list it after realtor fees and closing costs and hard money fees, we wouldn't be making any money. And if we did, it's not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze because the market could drop more. We could end up losing money. So we're like, how do we monetize this? I know there's motivation, there's high motivation, but they need that 525. So what we're looking at doing right now is there's a VA loan. They have a VA loan at 2.25% interest, and VA loans are transferable. So you could do a legal sub 2. You could transfer that loan to an end buyer. So, we asked them, hey, would you be willing to do the 525 if we took over that mortgage? And they said, yeah, they had no problem with that.
Yeah.
So we started calling, our Salem contacts, realtors that we know in Salem, where this deal is, and some of them have buyers, and those buyers are thinking, okay, if I could take over this super low interest rate mortgage, they'd have to come up with 125, 150 in cash. If, for someone that has that, to grab a luxury home for only 125K down and then make $750 to $1,000 a month in cash flow, that's a good deal. And then that house, of course, is going to appreciate a lot long-term. So we think that we have a buyer in place so we're looking at a possible $25,000 assignment fee just by using our brain. right? Like using our brain to get creative here, and something we probably would have said there's no deal here in the past. So those are the types of things, the strategies that we're doing right now to get through this time. And, you know, the idea is, of course, not to get through it, but to do a ton of deals after our competitors drop away.